Hi, this is Ruth with the Happiness Project, and I wanted to talk a little bit about belonging. So I was recently in a situation where it just came to my attention, and I was asked, have I ever felt like I belonged? And so I started thinking about this and considering just different scenarios in my life and different people, and checking whether I felt that way. And wasn't really sure that I did. I thought of some places where, I had really strong relationships, but for some reason, when I was thinking about belonging, my mind made an equivalent with do do they understand me completely? Do they accept me completely? And whenever there were differences, which there are differences because it's different personalities, right? Um, then the answer was I don't know. And it's tricky, because well, if that's what brings a sense of belonging, it's impossible. It's simply impossible because we are different. We are different. We have differences. That's one of the things about this world. And so if I need to find people that are perfectly the same, I don't know. It doesn't really hold up. And yet, when I was thinking, do I belong? It didn't feel right. And so, and I was just like, well, I'm not 100% sure. I feel accepted in some ways, but was I completely? And there's some differences. And am I really one of them? Because they have these things and I have these things, and it was hard to feel 100% like belonging was true. And yeah, that's not great, but it gave me a much greater appreciation for conformity, honestly, or I should say understanding of, because sometimes that's how we get the sense of belonging is if we belong, like it explains cult thinking or religion or an ideology or any other group where there's a strong culture, and if you conform to the culture, then you get to belong. But then that goes against some of our other messages, right? Be yourself, be authentic. People should love you for who you are. And so it's like, okay, do I need to be myself? But then I don't feel like I'm belonging, and I'm empty, and I'm out here. I'm the black sheep. I'm a loner. I'm what have you. It's just a strange, it's like a no-win situation, because then when we do conform, okay, let's say belonging is more important than we do conform, and we have those moments, and I've heard this many, many times, if they knew who I really was, they would throw me out of their lives, they wouldn't love me, etc. So it's like our choices to feel the sense of belonging, which is so important to us socially, or to feel like we're ourselves, which is so important to us, on a deep, deep level. So, what do we do? Um, and it's just, I think the idea, the concept, it's just, it doesn't work. So, what I would suggest instead of do we belong is do we feel loved? Do you feel loved? I think that is more accessible. I think everybody is loved, but we sometimes have trouble accepting it or noticing it. So a sense of a belonging is almost like a substitute, right? So do you feel loved? Are there places in your life where you're loved? Are there people? And it's not a black and white 100%. Yes, everyone loves me unconditionally. That's not true. We have people have judgments and hangups. But look in your life. Are you loved? Do you have love? And check in with yourself. Is your heart open? Is it open to noticing and accepting that there's love in your life? And if any of you have a meditation, a contemplation practice, a prayer practice, um, whatever you do to go deep within yourself, check in there to notice, do you feel love, and are you open to that? That's really important. So, because when we have the fear, this imposter syndrome that we think, we're a fraud, and people are going to know and kick us out, and we belong, but only as long as we conform, and we're not really loved. Maybe take a look at that. What would it be like? You're hiding yourself away in that moment. What would it be like to open your heart and accept the positive things that people are giving you and not question it because of, your fears that they don't really know. Um, are you loved? Are you loved sometimes by some people? Can you feel it? Can you think of times in your life that you felt that way? Can you attach to that feeling? Can you find it? So rather than do you belong, spend that time. If that comes up, well, wait a minute, okay, the idea itself doesn't work exactly when it's tied to, am I perfectly conforming, but yet am I authentic? Because we're all different. So how about, are you loved? I'm different. I'm this. I'm that. I'm loved anyway. So that's a thought of the day on belonging. Um, Hope you all are having a good, loving week. Yeah.